listen. Yo, listen up. This is my tragic story.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day I bid to our honorable and lovely Dr. Anita binti Haris, and not to forget my fellow classmate. Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Afifie bin Muhammad Sukri, and today, joining me today, my fellow group members Nur Alia Afifah, Zainie, and Nur Shuhada. Apparently, Dr. Anita had given us a very special task in regards to William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, which is one of the most prominent play by William Shakespeare back then when he was actively involved in language industry and language building. But before we go any further, I would like to give you a brief idea of what these movies are all about. Generally, we all know that Much Ado About Nothing 1993 and Much Ado About Nothing 2012 are both romantic/comedy movies based on William Shakespeare's original play, Much Ado About Nothing. This movie was taken place at Messina, Italy, where the governor of Messina received Don Pedro, a prince of Aragon, and his noblemen following their success at war. Don John, who was the half-brother of the Don Pedro, was brought along together after they had reconciled. The comedy revolved around Beatrice, who was the Leonato's niece, and Signor Benedict, who was one of the noblemen of Don Pedro. Their banter and the war of their wits and puns that happens between those two. They have basically known each other since before, and they only have bad things to say about each other when in fact they are actually love each other, but they never confess about it. And the story follows about the Claudio and Hero's love story, and then followed by the conflict that misunderstanding happens that leads to the dishonorable accusation upon Hero and all stuff like that. So today my teammates and I will be talking about these two versions of the movies, 1993 and 2012, to be discussed on this particular video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So, as we are asked to do some kind of comparison between both versions of the movie by selecting the selected scenes in the movie, we have decided to choose the setting as our main significance for this particular video. Firstly, I'll be talking about the scenes where the Beatrice, Leonato's niece, cries most heart-wrenchingly for the very first times in the movie because her beloved cousin, Hero, was publicly defiled by her own yet-to-be husband, Count Claudio, on the day that was supposed to be the most memorable and happiest day, which is to be married to her first-sight lover, Count Claudio. In 1993 version, Beatrice and Benedict they are in the church, where the scene was taken place in a church. By the way the building looks like, and we could obviously see the crucifix was on the wall. Beatrice cries wholeheartedly with grief and unhappily throw the most revengeful dissatisfactions upon Benedict, and actually ask Benedict to kill Claudio in that time because of the defamation that Claudio had caused. In 2012 version, on the other hand, the scene was taken place at Leonato's house, or to be specific at the lounge room, where the place was somewhat bigger and compared to the 1993s, which is more confined and small.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Alia Afifah binti Zakaria, and today I'm going to compare the setting of both movie in 1993 and 2012 movie, Much Ado About Nothing. So in 1993, the beginning part of the movie starts when everyone is having a picnic at the garden. Some are playing guitar, some are resting on the cloth mat, and the most importantly is Beatrice. Beatrice is sitting on the shady tree having some grapes while reciting a poem that ends up with a line, into hey nonny nonny. Soon after she recited the last line of the poem, a messenger came with a horse, came to Leonatus and gave him a letter. A letter informed him that Don Pedro and his men are coming to his place. Everyone are glad to hear that, and they start to run happily back to their home to wash up to meet with Don Pedro and his men. But in 2012 movie, the beginning part of the movie starts when everyone is in the kitchen. They are preparing some food. Then suddenly a messenger and Leonato came into the kitchen. Then the messenger gave Leonato a letter that informed him that Don Pedro is coming to his place. Shockingly, everyone is happy, but they are not as happy in the 1993 movie setting. Soon after that, Don Pedro came to Leonato's house with a black shiny car, and he and his men are wearing a black shirt with a black tie into the Leonato's house. But in 1993's movie, Don Pedro and his men come to Leonato's house by riding a horses. The people heard the horses are galloping, they're running back happily to their home happily. So move to the next scenes. In 1993's movie is when Claudio told Benedict that he has fallen in love with Hero, and he said that in my eyes she's the sweetest lady that I ever look on. Then Claudio and Benedict did look up to the upstairs of the house where Hero is standing still, and while the other two guys, Claudio and Benedict, is standing on the ground outside the house. But in 2012, all of them are in the house when Claudio did told Benedict that he has fallen in love with Hero, and he recited the same sentence in the 1993 sentence about the sweetest lady. But here we can see that in 1993's movie, only Hero is standing in the house, while in 2012 movie, all of them are in the house. So that's all the comparing in the sentence for me. So thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Zainie binti Ibrahim, and I will talk about the pros and cons of Much Ado About Nothing based on both versions, which are 1993 by Kenneth and 2012 by Joss Whedon. For the pros and cons of this movie, I am focusing on the way of the directing. Okay, so first of all, I'll talk about the pros of Kenneth Branagh version. Branagh's version was sun-dappled and cheerful film as he and his wife Emma Thompson headline as the argumentative lovers Benedict and Beatrice is not only a top-notch adaptation of an excellent play, but it has a lightness and effortlessness that cut through a young person or even not so young person a conception of Shakespeare's as serious or difficult. Branagh's version also full of song, dance, and beautiful scenery that catch the audience eyes, far from distracting from archaic language, and help to bring the play's emotion like its humor, its romance, and its tragedy that across to the audience. Okay. In addition, as much as Branagh takes advantage of the cinematic medium with long tracking shots, multiple exterior locations, and emphasis on period detail, his Much Ado About Nothing is a very theatrical film, as most of the cast play their big speeches to the backbenchers, and the film has no compunction about letting its actors squarely address the fourth wall, like a stage actor soliloquizing to the audience. Okay, so that's all about the pros of Branagh's version. Let's move to the pros of Joss Whedon version. A new film version of Much Ado About Nothing, Joss Whedon 2012, will seem refreshing and even revolutionary simply for drawing attention to the fact that there are other choices that might be made when adapting a play. The new version by Joss Whedon seems almost to have been designed as the antithesis of Branagh's film. Whedon shot the film in his own house with a cast made up mostly of his friends and favorite actors. As well as being a modern dress production, his Much Ado About Nothing is an understated affair. Instead of the conscious theatricality of Branagh's version, Whedon reached for naturalism. His actors delivered the Shakespearean lines as if they were ordinary 21st century dialogue, underplaying the comedy so that it sounds like conversational banter, not a stream of zinger. Okay, but there is also problem and cons in Joss Whedon version. Whedon's direction, which often feels like just a bunch of people talking, seems less like an attempt to stage the play as naturalistically as possible, and more as he had not bothered to do any of the actual adapting work of adapting the play and making it his own, as he seems doesn't know that what he wants his much ado about nothing to be. One gets the impression like he has simply thrown a bunch of talented actors in front of a camera and had them recite their lines in the belief that somehow a coherent work will emerge. The humor, meanwhile, almost invariably falls flat, Whedon having done little work to translate the broad, energetic, consciously artificial comedy of the original play into the more low-key tone of his film. Rather than being understated, Whedon's film comes to feel underpowered. Okay, so that's all from me. Before I forget, I could not find any cons in Branagh's version, as I'm deeply in love with his play because it was too close with the original play of Shakespeare. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you and see you.
Hi, hello. My name is Shwada, and I will be talking about which version of movie that our group prefer, and which version is more closer to the original play by William Shakespeare. Okay, basically our group love both of the movie, the 1993 and the 2012. But if we have to choose only one, then we will proceed to choose the 1993 version, because Kenneth remained faithful to the original play by William Shakespeare, which contains horses, the white gowns, the nude people, and the dramatic enactment. Okay, Whedon's setting is more low budget setting. Okay, if we watch the 1993 version, the setting is the large landscape, which is we have more Messina feeling, that which is intended by the original play. The 2012 version, if we watch it, and the setting is in the modern mansion, which packed with the cars, the guns, the fizzy cocktails, and they wear suits. Okay, if we watch the 1993 version, we have the Messina feelings that is a large landscape, and I think Kenneth Branagh succeed to bring the why the 2012 version, we can if we watch it, we cannot feel the Messina feeling that intended by the William Shakespeare, because the Messina is setting at the modern mansion, which is packed with the cars, with the guns, and with the fizzy cocktails. And if you look at 1993 version, the Messina feeling, we can get the Messina feeling from the 1993 version, which is, if we all familiar that William Shakespeare's play, the setting is over the top, and I think Kenneth Branagh succeed to bring that Messina feeling in the 1993 version. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
More than present. Yo, listen up. This is my tragic story. Just the breaking of my heart.